You know, one of the greatest lessons I ever learned in life, and it didn't come quickly, was this. If you spend your life watching everyone else, you'll never find the time to build your own. You'll get caught up in their wins, their pace, their applause, and you'll miss the quiet opportunity right in front of you. You see, it's easy to focus on others, to talk about what they're doing, what they're not doing, to compare, to compete, to criticize. But none of that makes you better. None of that moves you forward. Your future doesn't get built by pointing fingers. It gets built by lifting yourself. So today I want to remind you of something simple but powerful. Focus on yourself, on your growth, on your habits, on your mindset, because the truth is you are the only project you have full control over. And when you improve, everything around you improves. Your relationships, your income, your health, your confidence. But it all begins with you. Stay with me in this video, not for hype, not for noise, but for a real conversation, a shift in perspective. Because if you've been feeling stuck, distracted, or discouraged, it might just be because your eyes have been on the wrong thing. Let's fix that. Let's bring the focus back to where it belongs. Your goals, your growth, your greatness. Let's begin. One of the greatest breakthroughs you can ever have in life is realizing this simple truth: you are the project, not the person next to you, not your coworker, not your social media feed. You, your habits, your mindset, your decisions, your reactions, these are what determine the quality of your life, not what someone else is doing or not doing. Too many people spend their best years managing other people's lives, offering criticism, comparisons, and commentary while neglecting their own garden. But you don't get paid for pointing out someone else's weeds. You don't grow by monitoring their progress. Your life doesn't change because your neighbor failed or succeeded. It changes when you take ownership of your own path. Jim Rohn used to say, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. And that wasn't just about career, it was about character. It was about realizing that if you want to have more, you must become more. You would not be doing one thing if your energy is spent watching what others have. You're not investing it in building what you need. And the truth is, most people never reach their potential, not because they didn't have it, but because they were too busy trying to measure up to someone else's. But your race is your race. Your timeline is your timeline. And your progress is based on one thing: how consistently and intentionally you focus on you. This shift in mindset is powerful. It brings peace, it brings clarity, it brings momentum. Because now your mood is not controlled by someone else's highlight reel. Your direction isn't based on someone else's choices. You stop competing and start growing. You stop judging and start improving. Make yourself your project. Study your thoughts, audit your time, track your habits, build your skills, feed your mind, protect your energy, and soon you'll notice something amazing. When you focus on you, the world around you starts to respond differently. Better opportunities, better people, better outcomes. So remember this, the project is not them, it's you, and when you commit to that, your life begins to transform from the inside out. Let me ask you something. How much of your time and energy goes into observing, critiquing, or worrying about what someone else is doing? How often do you find yourself saying, they shouldn't have done that, or why are they ahead and I'm not? You see, that kind of energy, while it might feel harmless, is one of the biggest thieves of progress. You only get so much energy in a day. You only get so much focus, drive, and mental space. And every moment you spend judging others, what they did wrong, how they got lucky, what they don't deserve, you're taking energy away from your own goals, your own routines, your own growth. That's like pouring water into someone else's garden while wondering why your plants aren't growing. Growth takes focus, it takes clarity, it takes the discipline to look in the mirror more than out the window. Jim Rohn would often say, "Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better." That doesn't come from criticizing the world. It comes from working on yourself. Judging others is a distraction disguised as concern. It feels productive because you're thinking and evaluating, but in reality, it creates bitterness, comparison, and excuses. And none of those will help you get to where you're trying to go. Now, this doesn't mean we don't observe or learn from others, but there's a big difference between learning from someone's mistake and using their mistake to justify your own lack of progress. One builds you, the other blocks you. When you pull your energy back from gossip, comparison, and judgment, and redirect it to your habits, your health, your learning, everything changes. Your results improve, your attitude shifts, your influence grows, because people can feel the difference between someone who critiques and someone who creates. So guard your energy, protect your focus like gold. Ask yourself throughout the day, is this helping me grow? And if it's not, redirect. Because you were not put here to manage others. You were placed here to master yourself. The moment you stop judging others and start building yourself, that's the moment your life takes off. And that, my friend, is where real growth begins. One of the most freeing yet challenging truths you'll ever accept is this: you are fully responsible for your life. Not your parents, not the economy, not your past, you. Jim Rohn used to say, you cannot change the circumstances, the seasons, or the wind, but you can change yourself. And that's the essence of personal responsibility. Life will always bring storms. It will hand you unfair situations. But how you respond, what you choose to do with it, is completely up to you. Now, it's easy to blame. It feels good in the moment. It takes the pressure off. You don't have to face the mirror if someone else is at fault. But here's the hard truth. As long as you're blaming, you're not changing. You're giving away your power. You're putting your future in someone else's hands. And that is no place for your dreams to live. Taking responsibility doesn't mean everything that happened was your fault. It means everything from this moment forward is your choice. Your habits are your choice. Your attitude is your choice. Your discipline is your choice. And your future? That's built one choice at a time. When you begin to take full ownership of your actions, something powerful happens. You stop waiting. You stop complaining. You stop needing others to come rescue you. This kind of responsibility breeds confidence. It builds character. It teaches you how to lead yourself and eventually lead others. Because no one wants to follow someone who blames. People are drawn to those who take charge of their lives and become better through it. So today, ask yourself, where am I giving away my power? What areas of my life am I waiting on someone else to fix? And then shift, take it back, start with something small and build from there. Because the moment you take full responsibility for your life, your progress accelerates, your mindset sharpens, and your future starts to align with your vision. That's where success begins, with you taking ownership one day at a time. One of the biggest distractions in your personal development journey is comparison. Now, it might seem harmless at first. You look at someone who's ahead of you, doing better, achieving more, and you think, I wish I was there, or worse, why am I not there yet? But let me tell you, that kind of thinking doesn't build you. It breaks your focus. Comparison is tricky. It feels like awareness, but it leads to discouragement. It feels like motivation, but it often breeds insecurity. You begin to question your pace, your progress, your purpose, all because you're watching someone else run their race. Jim Rohn once said, "The only person you should try to be better than is the person you were yesterday." That's the standard. That's the measure. Because the only life you're responsible for is your own. The only growth you can control is yours. And the only person you can truly improve is you. When you spend your time comparing, you do two things. You rob yourself of joy and you weaken your discipline. You see, joy doesn't come from beating someone else. It comes from knowing you're becoming who you're meant to be. And discipline, that thrives on clarity. But comparison clouds your vision. It makes you chase goals that aren't yours. It makes you follow routines that don't fit your life. And eventually it burns you out. Everyone has their own timing, their own path, their own process. What looks like overnight success in someone else's life might have taken them years of quiet, unseen effort. So don't waste your time measuring your beginning against someone's middle. Instead, bring your focus back home to your habits, your effort, your values. Track your own progress, celebrate your own small wins, get clear on what you want, why you want it, and who you need to become to earn it. That's where the power is. Because when you stop comparing, you start creating. When you stop watching, you start working. And when you stay committed to your own lane with discipline and joy, you'd be amazed how far you can go. So if you find yourself distracted, discouraged, or drained by comparison, step back. Recenter. Refocus. Because your greatest growth won't come from watching others. It'll come from building you. Success isn't about outrunning other people. It's about becoming the kind of person who deserves the success you seek. One of the biggest traps we fall into is constantly watching what others are doing, thinking their activity should somehow determine our identity. But let me tell you something powerful. What they're doing doesn't build your future. What you're becoming does. Jim Rohn used to say, success is something you attract by the person you become, and that truth has never changed. You don't get more in life by hoping others do less. You get more by working more intentionally on yourself. Focus on becoming more disciplined, more valuable, more consistent, more teachable. If someone else wins, it doesn't mean you lose. Life isn't a zero-sum game. Their success doesn't cancel your opportunity. And when you fix your mind on becoming, you stop needing the validation of being ahead, because suddenly it's not about speed, it's about depth. It's not about applause, it's about alignment. And the more you work on becoming, the less you'll need to prove anything to anyone. You'll build confidence, not from compliments, but from character. The people who succeed long-term are the ones who invest in their own growth, regardless of who's watching or what the crowd is doing. Your real competition is not your friend, not your coworker, not the stranger on social media. It's the version of you that settles. The one who skips the work. The one who avoids the hard conversations. That's the only person you need to be. So ask yourself daily, not what are they doing, but who am I becoming? Am I becoming more focused? Am I more disciplined today than yesterday? Am I more patient, more prepared, more grateful? That's how you win the internal game. That's how you attract the results you want. Remember, when the spotlight fades and the noise quiets, you'll be left with one thing: yourself. So let's make sure that person is strong. Let's make sure that person has depth, and let's build a life from the inside out, not one that depends on comparison, but one that depends on consistency. Because what you become in the process will always matter more than what anyone else is doing on the out. At the end of the day, the most valuable contribution you'll ever make, whether to your family, your team, your community, or the world, is the version of yourself that you choose to bring forward. Jim Rohn always emphasized that your personal development is the key to your future, and this holds true in every area of life. You don't lift the world by controlling others. You lift the world by growing yourself. When you become more disciplined, you raise the standard for those around you. When you become more positive, you lift the energy of every room you walk into. When you become more skilled, more focused, more emotionally grounded, you create ripple effects that inspire others to do the same. Most people think they need to fix everything out there, but the greatest change always starts in here, with you. You don't need a louder opinion, you need a stronger example. You don't have to carry everyone, you just have to lead yourself well. And in doing so, you give others permission to do the same. A better you is a better parent, a better friend, a better leader, a better human. It's not about being perfect, it's about being aware, being intentional, being willing to grow even when no one is watching. Because when you rise, others rise with you. That's influence, that's impact, not by force, not by pressure, but by presence. Your presence becomes more valuable when your character grows. Your words carry more weight when they're backed by action. And your vision becomes more magnetic when it's fueled by integrity and purpose. So, the question isn't just, what do you want to have? It's who do you need to become in order to have it? Build that version. Protect that version, nourish that version every single day. Because when you focus on becoming better, not bitter, not jealous, not controlling, just better, you automatically add value to every space you enter. And that, my friend, is how you change your world. Not by waiting on others to evolve, but by choosing to evolve yourself. The greatest gift is not what you give others, it's who you become for others. Start there, and everything else begins to shift. In conclusion, remember this: the journey of success and growth begins with one undeniable truth. You are the project. Stop focusing on others and start focusing on becoming the best version of yourself. Stop wasting your precious energy on comparison, judgment, or blame. Time to take full responsibility for your life and the results you're creating. The greatest gift you can give the world is not your approval, not your criticism, but a better version of you. Every single day is an opportunity to invest in yourself, to build your character, to grow your discipline, and to create the future you deserve. So as you move forward, keep your focus sharp, your habits strong, and your mind open. Understand that what you become will ultimately determine where you go, how far you go, and the impact you make. Don't let the distractions of others pull you off course. Become someone who lives with purpose, with clarity, and with intention. Thank you for taking the time to be here today. I hope this message resonated with you and that you leave with a renewed sense of direction and focus. Keep building, keep growing, and remember, the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the decision to focus on yourself, not others. Thank you, and may you continue to strive for greatness in everything you do.